COVID has profoundly changed our lives. Those who have lost loved ones are suffering the most. Others are learning to live with lingering problems. For a woman in Boulder, COVID hit 1 year ago. Kim Christensen has her story.
Somewhere between the mundane and marvelous are the lives of Barbara Gould.
1 year ago, we were on a great trip. We were, not sure where we were, we might have been in Patagonia.
The life she remembers.
Ironically, we were in a town that is often referred to as the end of the world.
Right.
And we had little understanding at that time that in some respects, we were going to return to the end of the world as we knew it.
And the life she's now living after COVID-19.
I don't know that there's any going back to normal.
March 16th, 2020 will always be that day.
It feels like a death. I never died. I never had to be resuscitated or anything like that. But that person is gone, and this is a new person.
This is a woman who was once considered the sickest COVID patient in the state, on a ventilator and eventually an ECMO machine to keep her heart and lungs working. She was unconscious for weeks. She lost her voice, her hair, and the ability to walk. Her remarkable recovery left its mark, too.
I worry about what's going on with my liver and my voice, and there's some scarring in my lungs.
The new Barbara is learning to be more like the old Barbara.
My balance has gotten so much better.
You've gotten so much stronger. Just your confidence.
Well, I owe it to you guys.
A year has passed and Barbara is back where she started. Boulder Community Health.
Sadly, as respiratory therapists, we see a lot of death, and we're around a lot of end-of-life situations. Otherwise, you wouldn't need a respiratory therapist. So to see Barbara so sick and to get so much better, and now to walk in here, she's driving herself. She's very confident with that. She shows off on the treadmill. She can run, practically. Just to see her normal life again, it's a good feeling.
She's graduated from respiratory therapy, is fully vaccinated, and ready for the next vacation. A road trip to see family for Passover.
There is a lot of life left to be lived.
The life of Barbara Gould. It's in transition from what was to what is.
I don't think it's going to be the same normal that it was before, and maybe that's okay.
Barbara's liver problems, they're not treatable, they are progressive. Doctors are still trying to figure out what options she has going forward. On the upside, her lung function has improved dramatically, and she's going to become a grandparent in September, so she's pretty excited about that, Kyle.
And that's wonderful news. Hearing her story, Kim, reminds me that I think there's so much unintentional cruelty from people that say, oh, you had it, you were sick, and now you're fine, or the cruelty of just kind of saying that anything other than a death is just something to check off and move on from, whereas her life and her family's life is forever changed.
Forever changed. And one of the things she said that stuck with me is she said, you still have these fears and anxiety. And so she said she was walking with a friend the other day, and they both were masked up, and someone was running and ran behind them. And she said, I just felt like this fear seek up inside of me, even though I'm vaccinated, saying, wait, don't get near me. You don't have on a mask. So she understands it differently than anybody else.
And her perspective based on what was in her life to what is now versus the respiratory therapists who saw her near death and now marvel at where she is.
Yeah, and she doesn't remember seeing them when she went to the hospital a year ago. She has no memory of that.
Wow. Wow. Quite the story. Kim, thank you.